plan on flying? In order to board domestic flights, your driver's license or state-issued ID must be a real ID. Learn how to get your real ID today at tsa.gov/real ID or visit your local DMV.
Your morning blitz begins now.
Yeah, let's get going on a Thursday. It's going to be an interesting one, as it's going to be a high of 82, but we will have some rain and possible storms rolling through, so be ready for that. Vic, did you get your greenhouse built?
I did.
Oh, good.
Yes. Came with a little delay, too.
A little delay?
A little delay.
What do you mean a little delay?
I put a drill bit right through my finger.
Oh, let's see it.
It went in the bottom and came out the top.
Did you go to urgent care?
What?
Yeah. No, I'm not even joking.
You can see it. You can see where it went in and where it came out.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
How are you here right now? Why aren't you at the doctor?
Well, it was because it was only a 1/32 of an inch drill bit, thank God. And
So on a syringe needle? I don't know.
basically, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, a little thicker, but man, I was hurrying and I was being careless, and I was holding a thing that I was trying to drill a hole in for a screw, and I just misjudged where my finger was, and I was pushing hard, and all of a sudden it popped through, and I didn't expect it, and went right up through my finger.
Wait, did you go to the doctor?
No.
What?
You need to go to the doctor
No, I
because
don't.
yeah, you do. Was that drill bit sterilized when it went through your hand?
No.
Okay. Go to the doctor.
You're going to be mid-sentence lockjaw.
Yeah, you need to go get a tetanus
Tetanus
shot.
I've had a tetanus shot.
When?
Like 2 years ago. You got to get one every 5 years.
No.
Yeah.
Every 10 years.
Okay, every 10 years. So even better.
But you're acting like you. I want to see your medical records. I don't believe
Wait,
you.
if that wasn't the most womanist move ever, let me correct the man and tell him not only is he wrong, he's more wrong than he thought he was.
I want to see your medical records.
I'm telling you,
I don't
because
believe
of
you.
when I got the hook in my finger from fishing, I had to get a tetanus shot.
Oh, no.
And that was definitely less than 10 years. That was less than 10 years
Yeah,
ago, for sure.
I do think it is every 10 years.
Anyway, and it happened so fast. Just like it was the most bizarre thing. So I immediately saw it go up, and I went, oh my God! I pulled the drill right back down, and I was like, uh-oh, and the blood is squirting out of my finger. I had to clean a bunch of blood off my new, what do you call it, my drug den?
Are there?
My
Yeah, your drug
greenhouse.
den. Are there any arteries in the fingers?
Right there?
Oh, no.
Well, I would, if I hit an artery, there's not.
No.
Okay.
I don't think. I don't know. Doctors of the Blitz, text us at 99700 and tell us why Thick Rick should go get that checked out at the emergency room.
I definitely have feeling in it.
A drill
It's not-
bit went through your finger.
Yes.
You need a specialized hand surgeon.
Surgeon?
Yeah. You got about 4 days before you can only count to 9. So you better hurry up and get
For
that.
real, man. How did you? But although I understand that I would want to avoid the doctor at all costs if possible.
If I start noticing something, if it's
I noticed something, a big old hole through your finger.
Well, yeah, I had a drill bit go through it, but I ran inside. Oh my God, there was a lot of blood, and I immediately started washing it. And then I wrapped a rag around it and held it tight, just as much pressure as I could for quite a while. I took it off. The bleeding had stopped. I put Neosporin on it, cleaned it up, bandaged it.
Is that what they taught you in medical school? You need a doctor to look at that.
Yes, I didn't have to go to medical school to learn that you clean a wound and you put medicine on it and you
know that
bandage it.
Neosporin's not medicine? It's just like putting Vaseline on it.
Well,
Did you know
is,
that?
Yes, what peroxide is.
Okay. I'm over here educating.
Right, you really are.
I'm
Dr.
being so
Kelly
annoying
over
right
here.
now. I know it.
Okay, well.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I hope you still have finger and it doesn't just have feeling and it doesn't start changing color or anything.
Yeah, I can definitely still feel everything.
Okay.
Especially when I push right there on that spot.
When you lose that finger, we're going to start calling you fingers.
God.
Old fingers thick.
Yeah.
Thick fingers.
Well, I'm glad you're okay. I want to real quick. I don't know who it is, but we're entering. It's been officially 90 days. We've been doing the show together, entering month number 4. Everything has been amazing. Everyone's been great here.
Have you learned a lot from me?
I've learned so much from you. But I've officially found the first person I don't like in the building.
Oh, no.
Which is always interesting. When you find that person, you're like, that's the first person that I don't like.
Are you going to give a name?
I have got an issue with this person. And in fact,
Kelly Quinn.
I would love to have a few words with this person, like face to face.
What?
Because I don't know exactly who it is. But I went to go make I went to go make coffee this morning. And since day one I've been working here, we've had the coffee pouches that you rip open and dump into the filter. Mm-hmm. Well, we don't have that. We ran out of the pouches, so now
we've downgraded.
There's a giant can of coffee grounds.
Yes.
And someone left the scoops out, which are basically just the plastic measuring cups you get for, 1 cup, quarter cup, half cup.
Yeah.
And so the 1 cup has got the grounds in it, you can see. But someone wrote on the outside of the cup, or the 1 cup scoop, fill line.
Yeah.
Don't tell me how much coffee to put in my filter. That is your fill line, sir. Don't tell me.
It's just a guide. It's not a law.
Well, let me tell you. I said F your fill line, and I filled up the whole 1 cup scoop.
Good for you.
It was way too strong. That's too much coffee. The fill line totally makes sense. 100%. It was way too much.
I will say that I did not make the fill line, but I appreciate the fill line.
I saw it, and I was like, don't tell me how much grounds to use. I know what I'm doing.
I need to tell you about this coffee situation. Is this what we have now, the gigantic big thing of Maxwell House?
It's the end of the world.
I mean, what do you want? The Kona, the Arabian?
That's better coffee than what's in those packets.
I disagree. Unless I really got used to a standard coffee that now I prefer. I brought in some coffee, so I need for you to drink the good coffee that I brought in.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm all about that.
Yeah,
for sure.
I can't do that.
Okay.
Whatever that is, it's not ground right. It's not. Yeah.
Don't get sepsis. We've got a couple texts rolling in.
Okay, yes.
Sepsis could be rolling in. Tetanus, for sure.
Oh, your mom texted in and said, he's fine, Kelly.
Yeah, you ought to see what happened to my brother-in-law.
Let's get going on a Thursday, Thick. What's the Blitz Morning Trivia today?
All right, this was just announced. A new movie is coming. This is a sequel to a 2024 movie that was a reboot of a 1989 movie. Just announced there will be a sequel to this movie from last year that was a reboot of a movie in 1989. Tell us what the movie is. If you're first one to text in the 100, we'll give you $25 to go spend at Waterbeds and stuff.
Well, here we go, May 1st. I got a couple text messages. I guess we've been, being in the studio a little bit earlier, it's already raining in a lot of places. The thunderstorms are already here, and so
just got a lightning alert.
Yeah,
I thought I heard thunder.
I guess I wasn't paying attention, but I was talking about how storms are on the way. We could get some storms today. And people are like, "Oh, it's raining already." Sorry, my bad. I'm in a closed studio here. I can't see outside. Which, by the way, there was way more traffic this morning at 4:40 when I was pulling in on Dublin Road here than I've ever seen.
Yeah, I was like, you mentioned it.
What
I
is
saw a lot
going
of
on?
cars.
Why is it so busy this morning? It was very odd.
It's gonna be May.
That's true.
It's May 1st.
It is May 1st.
I thought I'd get that out of the way.
Did you just drop in sync on us?
I did. I wanted to do it before anybody did it to me.
What, you don't know about the meme that goes around every year? It's going to be May.
No, and I'm
May
glad.
1st. Every single May 1st.
How have you avoided that on social media? It's
just lucky, I guess.
Everywhere. Every year, the picture of Justin Timberlake and his ramen hair, which I tried to emulate when I was 22 years old. I had the ramen hair. I highlighted my curls.
Yeah.
I highlighted the tips. Oh, yeah.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah.
I never heard that term.
What, highlighting the tips?
No, ramen hair.
Oh, ramen hair. Yeah. His was way more blonde. It literally looked like ramen. I had brown hair, but I frosted the tips.
Ooh, nice move.
I never showed you my first...
I want to see this.
I never showed you my first radio picture?
We get to see Goose with hair.
Oh, man. I'm going to have to pull this up real quick. Hold on. Let's take 2 seconds.
See this bad boy.
Oh, yeah. You're going to love this. Oh, I had the yin yang like leather necklace, earrings in both my ears.
Thick Rick had curly hair.
Let's see here.
Still do. There's just not enough of it to curl.
Yeah, I miss those days when I actually had all that hair. You could put product in it. Oh, yeah, here we go. Here, Kelly.
Okay. Oh, look at that. Yep.
I don't know how I would take that,
nice.
Goose. Oh, look at that.
No, that looks great.
Well, look at you.
Had my
boy band Goose.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely, boy band Goose. My goatee and my earrings. Oh, for sure. Speaking of it's going to be May, yes, it is May 1st. You got some things to look forward to in the month of May. Both the NBA and NHL playoffs continue. Bye-bye, LeBron. Bye-bye. See you later. I doubt he plays. I think he's done. I doubt he plays. Yep. The Kentucky Derby, obviously, is coming up this Saturday. The Preakness follows that. If you're a golf fan, PGA Championship is coming up. The Indy 500, the French Open, all taking place. If you're a movie fan, Thunderbolts opens tomorrow. Already have my tickets for that. Can I wait? I'm going to see that in the X Theater with the 3 movie screens.
Panoramic.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited. If you want to see all the hype between Alec Baldwin and Rust, that movie comes out after a 3-year delay.
Will you guys see that?
No.
I will definitely not go to the theater.
I have no desire to see it.
Me neither.
Yeah.
And I love Alec Baldwin.
I didn't even know what the movie's about.
Something about some guy with a gun.
Good Lord, Kelly!
Am I wrong?
No, you're not. Also, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning opens up May 23rd. If you want to check that out, let's see on TV. David Spade's got a new stand-up special coming. Welcome to Wrexham. Yeah, he does. Let's see. Poker Face is returning for a second season. You've got Ricky and Morty returning on the 25th. The American Music Awards, if you want to see a music show. Season 20 of America's Got Talent is back. So there's quite a bit. And, of course, you can always celebrate May the 4th coming up this Sunday. May the 4th be with you.
Yeah.
Which you can do so at Hell City Tattoo Fest, which kicks off tomorrow as well.
I saw your video yesterday.
Yeah, the setup's going good. I'm going to get my tattoo today at Red Tree.
Okay.
And then I'll be at the Hell City Tattoo Fest tomorrow night, probably around like 6:30, 7 o'clock-ish or so.
What's final decision on that tattoo?
I don't know.
Okay.
There isn't one.
I want to see his designs first. It's either going to be on the right chesticle area, or on my forearms.
Okay.
I'm not sure yet.
One or the other.
On the outside of my forearms.
All right, it's a game time decision.
I'm leaning towards the forearms.
Okay.
Right now. So we'll see.
I can't wait.
I'm a little nervous. Not going to lie. We'll get to. I'll post pictures and all that stuff, and I'll have another video as they're doing the tattoo, so you can see me wince and bitch and moan like a little wimp.
You know, I will bet you that hurts worse than the drill bit through my finger hurt.
Probably.
Oh my gosh!
Because it didn't hurt that bad.
Yeah.
It did not hurt that bad.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of a throbbing there, and then it just kind of settled.
I don't want to hear about your Saturday night. Saturday night 7, the Blitz.
Do you want the answer to the trivia question?
Yeah, I guess we can do that.
Skip that?
Sorry, we did skip that, didn't
right
we?
by that. All right, the question was, a sequel is coming to a movie that was out in 2024, which was a reboot of a 1989 movie. So yes, we are getting Jake Gyllenhaal in Roadhouse 2.
Oh, really?
Yes.
They're doing another one.
Yeah.
Jake
Okay.
Gyllenhaal.
And I gotta say, it was a fun ride, the first one.
Yeah, I like the first one.
I don't think we'll get, what's his name? McGregor.
No,
But
he's dead.
Yeah,
He's dead.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, thank you. I've never seen it.
Right.
Great.
Anyway, yeah, so that's the answer to that question. And David in Marysville was the first one to text it in, so he gets $25 to waterbeds and stuff.
Not so breaking news. The news already broke. We're trying to put it back together.
All right, let's start real quick over in Britain and give 10-year-old Cooper Wallace a big old round of applause, winning the gold medal for a second year in a row at the European Gull Screeching Championship. Take a listen. Congratulations, young man.
And you get mad at me for giving him a drum set. You had to listen to him practice that for months.
Right? He did it all at the European Gullet Screeching Championship, again for the second year in a row, dressed in his seagull costume.
Oh.
So he went all out.
He's really good at it.
Very good.
Yeah, absolutely. Way to go, young man. I don't know. New Zealand is definitely on the bucket list.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to go to New Zealand. However, there is a airport in Gisborne City, which is known for some amazing ocean views, amazing surfing, and some really beautiful, oceanfront areas there. However, to get there, you have to land at the Gisborne Airport. And I don't know if I have any desire to land at this airport because it is listed as one of the most dangerous airports. There is a train track that runs directly through the landing runway. What?
Wait, whoa.
Yes.
No.
Yes. I don't know how, but the train track actually cuts directly across the runway where the planes land. Now, the good news is the train track is only used about twice a month, but it still takes a lot of coordination to make sure that you don't have a plane coming in because they have got daily flights in and out of that airport all the time. So, yeah, I want to personally inspect the chart and the logistics to make sure that there's no train coming.
What the heck?
Anytime near when my plane is going to land.
Have you seen that video? It made the rounds on TikTok of it's an airport. Is it a Caribbean island or something where it basically has to fly like they're almost landing on the freeway, but then the landing strip is right near the freeway. Like, it's bizarre. You're watching this plane about 15 feet above a vehicle.
Right,
coming in for a landing.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. There's another one. I think it's in the Bahamas where the runway, the beginning part of the runway is almost right next to the beach. So people will stand at the fence seeing if they can stay there while the jet propulsion blows them back.
Oh my god!
Onto the beach. Yeah, it's unbelievable. And finally, a woman in Saginaw County up there in Michigan had to call Animal Care and Control because, well, she found out humping like jackrabbits is a real thing. She ended up buying a few rabbits as pets for her kids, but they started breeding, and she couldn't stop them. She even tried separating them by putting them in pens in her basement, but they got around that by chewing through the drywall and other materials, making it impossible to contain them.
Oh, Bunny's got a hump.
Bunny's got a hump. After getting a few rabbits for her kids, she now had more than 65 running around her house.
That's got to be a mess.
Oh. She said it was even worse because a few of the female rabbits were pregnant again. She ended up calling Animal Control, and so they came and collected the rabbits, saying, look, a lot of the rabbits needed immediate medical attention. Some were so severe they had to be euthanized. She couldn't take care of 65 rabbits.
You can't.
So
poor thing.
The shelter came out and said, look, we get it. You were well-intentioned. You wanted to get your kids a pet, but you have to do all the research before you end up getting your kids a pet, especially something not as domestic or simple as like a dog or a cat. If you're going a different route, make sure you do all your research before you end up with 65 rabbits running around just humping. It's everywhere you turn, more humping rabbits.
Oh, my God.
That's your not-so-breaking news, 99.7 The Blitz. I think this would be absolutely crazy. I think it's fair to say that no one is like 100% at their job or doing their job all the time. I think all of us at some point or another have slacked a little bit at work. But
slacking right now.
100%. And, occasionally you might get kind of called out for your slacking, or you have a coworker who gets called out for slacking, or maybe you're on probation, or maybe they're keeping a little bit of a closer eye on you. But could you imagine if an entire city was keeping an eye on you doing your job? And that is what's happening in New York City right now, because apparently there were some complaints to Mayor Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City, about police officers not really doing what they were supposed to be doing. A lot of them were caught, especially in the transit system, the subway cops that were standing around, like looking at their phones and not doing anything. So the mayor put out literally a citywide PSA, a citywide message. Hey, if you see police officers standing around staring at their phones, snap a picture and send it to us. Because we want to crack down on police officers not doing what they're supposed to be doing. They have received hundreds of photos of police officers in these subway stations standing around just looking at their phones. Now, he did say in the message, I will go down to those subway stations and confront these police officers. I don't know if he's actually going to do it himself, but they did start an entire committee, if you will, sending out notices to certain precincts about what the hell's going on over there. Why aren't your officers doing their job? But could you imagine having an entire city always keeping an eye on what you're doing?
Attention all Karens. Attention all Karens.
Can you imagine the glee that the citizens have in being able to snap pictures?
Right.
I mean, that just really gets to the heart of us wanting to monitor the monitors.
Do you think that's... Yes. But you're saying Karens. Do you think that's a bit much thick?
Oh, yeah. No, I was kidding. But, I mean, they're the ones who are going to, like, be on the search for these guys.
True.
You know,
yeah.
You just gave them a great, goal and something to do every day.
I would just be so mad. And I'm looking at this website, and sure enough, they've posted some of these pictures of these officers standing around saying, out of 5 policemen, I saw 5 that were on their phones today.
I love it when it's in the cruiser driving. Have you ever seen those?
I have.
Yeah.
Okay, so what if you're a police officer and you're scheduled to sit at this location as a speed trap and you're just watching cars go by? Can you not look at your phone? I mean, you can look up at the...
Well, and that's the thing.
You know what I mean? I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, and again, some of these officers are, their job is to just kind of walk up and down the subway, tunnels and stuff. Well, not the tunnels, but the subway areas. And sure enough, if nothing's going on. But I am looking at some of these pictures where there's 3 officers standing around, and all 3 of them are leaning against the wall looking at their phones. And it's like, all right, well, maybe go and, someone keep an eye out for something. That's kind of what you're there for.
Yeah, why are all 3 of you in the same place, too?
Well, they do have, officers in groups.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. But to have 3 of them all looking down at their phone, that's not like one of them got a call from home and they have to pick up the phone or something. That's them bored, killing time.
That's how we've raised society to be these days, man. They were doing it in their classrooms, and now they're doing it at work. Everybody does.
I just don't want an entire city keeping an eye out.
No.
And
although
specifically looking for, something I'm doing wrong.
But they kind of are for you and us.
Well, I mean,
the whole city.
That's true. They screw up, we're going to know. Drop a, big old F-bomb on the air. They're going to know for sure. So, well, coming up, we have got your chance to win. If you want to go see Sheng Wang, we're going to give you a chance to win those tickets here in a little bit. It's 99.7 The Blitz.
And now, 3 things you need to know before you go.
3 adults found dead early this morning in an apparent double murder-suicide. Happened at an apartment near Gender and Refugee Roads. Columbus police called to the apartment at about 12:30 this morning. 1 male and 1 female found dead outside an apartment on Esquire Drive. 1 male found dead inside the apartment. A man is in critical condition after falling 21 feet from a wall at a Pittsburgh Pirates game yesterday. Witnesses reported seeing the man tumbling through the air before landing on the warning track area in right field. They say it was not clear whether he jumped or fell from the stands, but he reportedly dropped from the 21-foot Clemente wall during the 7th inning. Emergency responders rushed to the scene, took him out of the stadium on a stretcher, and he was hospitalized. Players were shocked. I guess the entire crowd went silent. Some of the players knelt down to pray. Gameplay was paused, but eventually resumed, and the Pirates ultimately won 4-3. An update to the story we did at this time yesterday. There's 11 high school lacrosse players in Syracuse, New York, who are suspected of being involved in that hazing of some younger players. The DA in that city said, you have 48 hours to turn yourselves in. If you do, we'll go lenient on you. They all turned themselves in yesterday. Authorities say at least one of the students is 18. Remember, as a kid, that was a thing when you were in your mid-teens, like make sure you commit all your crimes before you turn 18. That was a thing. Well, this kid didn't. He is 18 years old, so he will be arraigned in adult court while the juveniles will head to family court. They're all facing charges of unlawful imprisonment. What did they do? If you didn't hear the story yesterday, these high school lacrosse players, the older ones, they decided they were going to take 5 younger players out to eat. But what they really did was they kidnapped them. They brought them to some remote location where these other lacrosse players were all dressed up in like masks and dark clothing, and they brought out a gun and what looked like a gun and a knife and acted like they were going to kidnap the kids. 4 of them took off running and they got away, but they did grab the 5th younger kid and they threw a pillowcase over his head. They tied him up. They threw him in the trunk of a car, drove him to the woods, dropped him off and left him there.
You can't do that.
No, you can't. You cannot do that. So
that's a step beyond hazing. Or about 7 steps beyond hazing.
Right. Agreed. So these kids are all learning a bit of a tough lesson. They did apologize. They said things just got out of hand and they were very sorry and that they regret the incident. And those are your 3 things.
It's Thursday. It's officially 1 week from Sonic Temple.
Yeah.
Very exciting. You can start, really counting down the days, looking forward to Sonic Temple, and you're like, oh, I can't wait. I need a little release. Things haven't been going my way. Hasn't been the best week so far. Well, we're going to help with that because I enjoy visiting one of my favorite websites, F My Life. People sharing how bad their day is going so you can feel a little bit better about yours. Like this person who wrote, today I woke up bleeding from every orifice of my body. I got a nosebleed from my medication. My gums bled when I brushed my teeth. It's that time of the month and I have hemorrhoids.
Oh, my God. I'm going back to bed.
Right. Yeah, at that point, just take the day off.
Yeah,
I don't think
that's a sick day.
Go back to bed.
Smart to leave your house today.
Nope. Today, I clicked on a shortcut that I made years ago, not remembering what it was. It immediately sent a message to my ex, who I'm in no contact with, which said, I love you.
Oops.
Got to be careful with those shortcuts. Today, my cat got into the bathroom while I was changing my tampon. As I was throwing away the applicator, I felt a sharp pain around my vagine. I looked down and he was swatting at the string.
No! 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 You gotta be kidding.
I can't even fathom. Today, while working as a hotel guard, I found a homeless man lying in the grass. I asked him to move and he ignored me, continuing to lie there with his head resting on his arms with a big smile on his face. I got annoyed and started to yell at him. After a few minutes, I realized he was dead.
I knew you were going to say that.
No. But he had a smile on his face?
He did.
Oh, okay.
Went out with a smile. Today, my cat brought me a gift by dragging a sock from my neighbor's porch. It was a child's sock. I went back to the neighbors and took it back to him, but now I'm pretty sure my neighbor thinks I'm some freak who collects kid socks. That's weird. Like, just throw that sock away.
Oh, at least the
yeah,
kid
but what
did.
if they have surveillance? Oh, well, no. Yeah.
Because the
They
cat
get
got
to show
it.
your cat.
Yeah.
You're not taking it off the porch.
This cat didn't bring him a tampon.
Yeah, that's very true. Absolutely.
Full circle.
Today, I was getting ready for the neighborhood pool party, and I was running very late. I reached for my deodorant and sprayed it on. It was only when I was at the pool that I realized I had accidentally grabbed my spray tan and covered my underarms in it. Weird brown circles in your armpits. So everybody can see it. Today, my uncle gave me a very expensive bottle of champagne at a celebratory family event. We were celebrating me spending 1 year sober. Read the room, man.
Dang. Okay.
Can't do that. Today, my girlfriend of 2 years and I decided to have sex for the first time. We were in the room, finally ready to start. She confessed that she had actually never seen a man without his clothes on before. To make her more comfortable, I took my clothes off first. At first sight, she fainted. It can be a bit abrupt if you've never seen it before. It can be a bit shocking. It's not all, unicorns and rainbows down there. And finally, today I came home from college to find my favorite silk nightie that I'd left behind being modeled by Bernie, the family dog.
Oh.
Nobody will admit who put it on him. I don't know what's worse, that my family are a bunch of asshats or that my nightie is big enough to fit a St. Bernard. Oh, that's a bad day for sure.
Oh, my God.
That's really not a nightie, it's a nightgown.
Yeah, that is true. That's a moo-moo. I hope you feel better about your day. It's 99.7 The Blitz. All right, if you're looking for something to watch for about 87 seconds on Saturday, you can check out the Kentucky Derby. Or, well, you could watch 4 hours of coverage and then 87 seconds of the race.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just 6-hour pregame.
Unbelievable. A reason to get together and put on a big old hat, enjoy a mint julep and some food.
What's in a mint julep?
Mint?
I mean, alcohol-wise. What is it?
Pretty sure it's rum.
Rum?
I believe.
That would make sense.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
I'm going to tell you right now because I'm
Do the Googles.
Let's see here. Muddle it, cracked ice, add bourbon and stir well.
Oh, bourbon. Okay.
You put it in a highball glass and you gently muddle the mint,
Highball.
sugar, and water.
Thank you so much.
Fill the glass with cracked ice, add bourbon, and stir well, baby.
Okay. Well, get out there and enjoy. But noticing some of the horses that are entering the race, which Kelly covered yesterday, the names are just weird. Professional horse names are weird.
I like the name journalism, but I would never name an animal that.
No, I would not. But I also found that a lot of these horse names compare to a lot of stripper names as well. So we're going to play stripper or steed.
Oh, I like that.
I'm going to give you a name, and you guys are going to take guesses as to whether or not it's a stripper or a steed.
Okay.
All right? We're going to start with this one. Tricky Trixie. Tricky Trixie. Stripper or steed? Kelly, what do you think?
Stripper.
Horse.
That is a horse. Yes, that is a horse. What about Magnum Moon?
Sounds like a horse.
Stripper.
That is a horse.
Oh.
In fact, won the 2018 Derby. Magnum Moon.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
Naughty Robin. Naughty Robin.
Horse.
Horse.
Stripper.
Ah.
Yeah. Very, very confusing.
We're not doing well, Kelly.
Let's see. Angel of Envy. Stripper
Horse.
or steed?
Horse.
Stripper.
Son of a gun. I need to get out more.
To the club?
Rock Hard. Rock Hard. Stripper or steed?
Horse.
I hope it's a horse.
That is a horse. Yes. Man.
I have one, Prickly Pete.
Again, I hope it's a horse.
It's a horse.
It's a Seinfeld horse.
Oh, is it really? Okay, good one. Let's see. Classy Bridget. Classy Bridget.
Stripper.
Stripper or steed?
I'm going to go horse.
That is a steed. Yes,
Okay.
it is a steed. And finally, Roxy Silk. Roxy Silk. Stripper or steed?
Stripper.
That is a stripper, yes. Okay, not bad. Not bad. You got about 50-50 there.
About 50. Yeah.
We had a nice comeback there in the second half.
Yeah.
If you
She
want to...
What?
What'd she say?
Go on.
I didn't hear it.
She said that's what she said.
Oh. No.
See, and I was going to say Kim Kardashian, because that just reminds me of the Parks and Rec blooper, if you haven't seen it. Highly recommend checking it out. So as we enter May 1st, just kind of looking back, we've completed 90 days of this show. It's been an absolute blast. And I remember it was back in October, about October of last year, end of October, beginning of November, when I decided to send my stuff off to the bosses to apply for this job.
Oh,
And then, going through the process. If you remember, I came down for a couple days, I think in December. And
January.
hung out. Was it January?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, January. When I hung out with you guys for a couple days and then kind of waiting. Because in my 27 years of doing radio, it's the first rock station I've ever worked at. I've always wanted to work at a rock station. I've always wanted to do a morning show on a rock station. So I remember getting that phone call when they offered me the job. And I was just elated. I mean, I couldn't wait. Especially after when I got to come down and hang out with you two for 2 days and how much fun we had just on, like, the audition process or the practice process.
Clicked immediately.
Yeah, it was just fun. A blast. And really the only thing that I can think of that kind of matches that and kind of getting a dream job would be what happened a few years prior at another dream job was I got the phone call to go back home to Detroit to do a morning show in Detroit. I was going to get to do morning radio in my hometown after living across the country. Kind of a heads up there on the best phone calls I've ever received in my entire life. So I want to know, what's the most memorable phone call you ever got in your life? Do you remember, Kelly? Can you think of?
Okay. I have a downer phone call that I won't say because it's a downer, but I remember the bad things more than I remember the good things.
I think a lot of people do.
So I do have a downer one, but let me go with the best one I ever received. I met Charlie, my husband. I met him, I want to say, in May of 2022. And I instantly was like, yeah, I absolutely am into this guy. I want to go out with him. And I would sort of arrange I knew where he was. We met at church, and it was a giant church. So I knew kind of where he was typically on a Sunday morning. And I'd plant myself around the area. Definitely, totally stalking.
Gotta get in front of him.
I want to, accidentally run into him. We can have some conversations, and I can try to flirt, which I'm terrible at.
Stage 5 clinger!
Yes. So it wasn't until the end of July that he called me.
Wow.
To go out. So that was a difficult few months there, but I won't ever forget that phone call, that first phone call where I was like, it's on, baby!
How did he get your number, though?
A friend of mine saw him at a wedding, and she knew I was, really into him. And she's like, hey, what do you think about Kelly Quinn? And he was like, yeah, I think she's great. He's like, you want her number? And he said, yeah. And so she wrote it on a napkin and gave it to him.
And she told you she gave your number to him.
Yes.
And then you had to wait.
And he still has the napkin that she wrote my phone number on. Isn't that sweet? So, but yes, I remember that first phone call like it was yesterday. It was a very exciting day.
Is there barbecue sauce on it, too, where he wiped his mouth?
Is that a 9?
Yeah.
Thick, what's the most memorable phone call you ever got?
So, funny thing, when you got the call from here, was it from Hal Fish first? Was he the first one to contact you?
Yes.
Okay, that's our boss. He's the one who invented the Blitz way back when.
Right.
Mine was from him too, and it's because of what he said. Because when I applied here, 75 years ago or whatever it's been, I dropped off a brown paper bag with my demo tape and a 6-pack of Miller Genuine Draft. And when he called me the next day, he said, "Hey, it's Hal Fish. Anybody who sends me beer gets an interview." I'll never forget that. As I'm like, it worked.
Yeah,
it worked.
That's great.
That's unbelievable. You got to get your foot in the door somehow.
Get some attention, man.
That's right. 800-821-9970 or 99-700. What's the most memorable phone call you ever got? And I know, Kelly, you kind of sidestepped it. Sometimes the most memorable isn't the best phone call.
Yeah,
it's the most memorable. Not to bring anyone down on a Thursday morning.
Well, it's the thing that maybe shocks your brain cells and sort of just something settles in there that's never going to leave.
Absolutely.
You get that type of a terrible phone call. So
absolutely. All right, 800-821-9970 or 99-700. Want to hear yours. Give us a call. Let us know what's the most memorable phone call you ever got. 99.7 The Blitz. What's the most memorable phone call you've ever received? Tasha, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. What's the most memorable phone call you ever received?
So I received a phone call from President Donald Trump.
Wait, what?
Wait, was it like a pre-recorded one? Please vote for me in November?
No, he was live on the phone.
Why? Wait, when was this?
So this was back during the election, and it was right before the Ohio State-Michigan game. And I was at my best friend's house. We were having a bonfire, and my cell phone rang, and it said Donald Trump. And at first I was like, okay, this is just a spam call, whatever. And my buddy was like, just answer it. So I did, and J.D. Vance has my cell phone numbers because of my work, I guess. So, because I do permitting for home builders in Ohio. So I'm down at City of Columbus Building Department every day for work. And there's several people down there that are bigwigs that know who I am.
Okay.
So, anyways, I answer the phone, and at first it's this lady, and she said, yes, please hold for Donald Trump. And he got on the phone, and he spoke to, I had him on speakerphone, so he greeted my husband, my friend, myself, all of us.
What?
Wow.
And, yeah, and we were all, like, kind of in shock. And he was like, so I just want to assure that I do have your vote in November. And I'm like, of course, you know. And he was like, J.D. Vance is here with me. And we were all just kind of like in this big group chat, like on speakerphone.
There's no way that I'm going to stick around on the phone if someone says, please hold for Donald Trump. And I mean that in the way that there's no way I would believe that I'm going to be put on hold waiting for Donald Trump.
I know.
That's wild. And he's so distinctive. I guess somebody could fool you with an impersonation, but you could tell if it was real. I feel like you could tell.
No, there's some pretty good impersonators out there.
There are.
That you would never know.
But knowing that J.D. Vance has your phone number, I guess I would then believe, okay, this is totally believable.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, and then we talked about the Ohio State-Michigan game that was coming up and everything, and he was like, I know we're going to beat Michigan. And
how'd that work out for you? Just out of curiosity, how did that work out for you? Just wondering. Well, Tasha, that's a really cool phone call to receive. I appreciate the phone call. I hope you have a great day.
Oh, you too. Bye.
All right, bye.
I can see why that would be a memorable one that you wouldn't forget.
Absolutely. This is crazy. Jay says my mom was the most amazing woman in the world. She was like a grandma to everyone, and she got sick. She had to be put on a trach, and I didn't hear her voice for 3 months. I remember then my phone rang while I was working, driving the truck, thinking it was a nurse giving me an update. But as I listened closely, it was my mom calling for the first time. So I pulled over and ran out of the car away from traffic so I could hear my mom talking, obviously because her voice was weak from being on a trach. But getting that phone call, that's absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah. That's wild. Leslie says the best phone call I ever received is when I'll never forget back in November. I got a phone call from the game show Cash Explosion. I was picked for one of the contestants. Needless to say, I won quite a bit of money.
Nice. Really?
That's wild, Leslie.
How much did you
I know.
win?
I need to know. Give us a number.
Because I have a friend who's a kind of a game show veteran now. I think she's been on like 3.
Really?
She's run some money. She's definitely won some money. Let's see. Ed says my most memorable phone call I had came 7 years ago when my father called me out of the blue for the first time, hearing from him in 25 years. Wow.
Oh, no, that's wild.
That is a memorable phone call, without a doubt.
My God.
Angela said, what happened with Kelly Quinn and the napkin guy? I married the napkin guy. We've been married for 22 years.
The napkin guy. I think you should permanently refer to him as the napkin guy now, without a doubt. 800-821-9970. I'd love to hear your most memorable phone call if you've got one.
We have a lot of calls about babies.
Oh,
yes.
I could totally see that. Could totally see that would be a big deal, especially like I saw one that they were waiting and it had been, they had been trying for a while. And then to get the call from the wife, saying that the baby's here, or at least we did it. We made a baby.
That's what Blaine said about 7 years ago. I was on a break at work. My wife called me to say that her water broke. I remember I was in a daze, and my boss was way more hyped than I was.
Right. 800-821-9970, 99700. The most memorable phone call you ever received. Robert says, when my attorney called and said my divorce was final.
Don't forget that one.
That is a phone call you are most certainly going to remember. I'm trying to think of a non-work related phone call. Because obviously, like I said, getting this job was one of the most memorable phone calls, if not the most. I'm trying to think of a non-work related phone call.
Cheryl says she got a text from her mom that only said, your dad had an incident with a chainsaw. We're at the hospital. Ooh. Zero context outside of that. She said he's fine, but she'll never forget that.
Yeah, you can't put incident with a chainsaw.
You got to let me know up front if everything's okay.
Yeah. That word is a bit too scarce, just a bit too vague to just be like an incident.
Yeah.
Because, if you say incident with a chainsaw, you're instantly thinking there's some limb missing somewhere.
Exactly. Do I need to pick up an arm, or what are we doing
Right,
here?
yeah, exactly. You need me to swing by the arm store real quick?
Yeah.
Think you got one?
Robert, someone, my attorney, called and said my divorce was final.
Ding, 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 ding.
Damn it!
Ding, 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 ding.
It wasn't even that long ago.
No.
It was like
It's within a couple breaths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just right there.
Matt says his favorite calls are from Thick Rick when he wins a prize. Those are his most memorable.
Oh, isn't that nice?
By the way, Jay answered your question with national champions, Goose. National champions.
Oh,
well, that wasn't last year.
yeah, we weren't asking who won the national championship. We were asking who won the Michigan game.
Well, no,
and
you
it was
said how'd
Michigan.
that
Oh, you're
work
trying
out
to
for
throw
you?
it back in my face.
You said how'd that work out for you? He
Okay.
said national champions,
got you.
Goose.
Okay, we weren't talking about the national championship game. We were talking about the Michigan-Ohio State game. How'd that work out for you?
Let me tell you something. I'm predicting right now the most stressful college football season of my life coming up.
Oh, you know it.
I hate Michigan to my core. And this man hates the Buckeyes to his core. Goose.
As he should.
I would. It's going to be. I'm going to have to really keep my stress levels down. I'm going to start doing deep breathing.
I'm like Goose, and I love fandom.
Right.
I love fans. Fans should be loyal. That's the way it is.
are.
And if he didn't hate the Buckeyes, I wouldn't think he was a real Michigan fan.
Right.
So it's all right.
I do believe we're going to have to reel it in without going on tangents about yelling about the other team.
I won't
Any
ever
little
crap on
thing.
you. I promise I won't. I love that you're.
I can take it.
I
No,
love that you're a
please.
big.
Please, feel free. The Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this?
Hi, this is Becky from Newark.
Hi,
Becky.
Becky. What's the most memorable phone call you ever received?
Well, I was working in London, Ohio, and I got a phone call from my daughter letting me know that the fire department had just left the house. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, well, why was the fire department there? And she's like, to put out the fire. I'm like, what fire? What are you talking about?
She likes to drag out a story.
Why do you think, Mom?
And she said that we had a sump pump. We had a pump in the basement, and it had shorted out.
Oh.
It caused a small fire. And I'm like, yeah, it was like, oh my God, those are the phone calls you don't want to get. Except
Wait.
I was in Croton. So
Wait, did your house smell like burning poo?
No.
Okay,
it
good.
smelled just like electrical fire.
Oh, okay, good. Good.
It's a
Yeah.
sump pump.
Yeah.
It's only water, right? It's not septic.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, we had-
I don't know the difference.
You need to move out to the
We had
country.
No, I don't.
We
Well-
had a spring-fed well in our basement.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's a memorable phone call. The fire department leaving your house. We appreciate
Put out the fire.
it. Right. Thank you so much for the call. Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this?
Hi, good morning. It's Tristan.
Tristan, what's the most memorable phone call you ever received?
All right. I would say one time when I was out in Springfield, Ohio, I turned on my Blitz app, and all I heard was, caller number 9 gets ticket. So I called, and I'll be dang, I got tickets to 10 years over at the A&R last year. And to top it off, I was front row.
Hey, that's a memorable phone call.
Yes.
There you go.
Getting front row seats to one of your favorite shows. I love it. Thank you so much for the call, Tristan. Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this?
This is Jordan on the west side of Columbus.
Jordan, what's up,
Jordan.
man? What's the most memorable phone call you ever got?
It has to be this one right here with Goose, Kelly, and Sick Rick.
Oh!
Hey.
The only problem is we didn't call you. You called us. So let us reverse that. This is the most memorable phone call I've ever gotten in my life. I appreciate it.
Have a good day, guys.
You too.
too.
Thanks a lot. Oh, so nice. 997 The Blitz.
And now, 3 things you need to know before you go.
Well, here's how a nonprofit can go sideways, I guess. The Columbus City Attorney is going to court against a West Side nonprofit that helps women involved in sex trafficking and drug addiction. According to the city attorney, neighbors are absolutely fed up with Sanctuary Night on Sullivan Avenue. Police have been called to this site more than 230 times since it opened in 2022 to deal with prostitution and open drug use. Okay?
Oh.
So basically, Sanctuary Night describes itself as a sacred space. This is what their website says, serving vulnerable women who are at risk for sexual exploitation. It says we provide a place to rest, eat, connect, and get resources. But apparently people were also using it for prostitution and drug use. Allegedly, that's what police keep getting called there for. So that's a little bit of things kind of got out of control. Like
Yeah, I would
when you
say
buy,
so.
accidentally buy a male and female bunny at the pet shop.
That's right. Got to be careful with that.
Control. Yeah. NFL star John Elway's friend and agent, Jeff Sperbeck, did end up dying yesterday. Elway was behind the wheel of a golf cart. Sperbeck was a passenger. The two were leaving Stagecoach when Sperbeck fell out of the cart, hit his head on the asphalt. Authorities say there's no indication that Elway was driving recklessly. Sperbeck was on life support for a while. He died early yesterday. He was 61 years old. Elway says he is devastated and heartbroken.
God, just from falling out of a golf cart.
Yeah.
Like, that's not even that far of a fall.
No. You hear people like Natasha Richardson, when she fell, she was not even skiing fast. She was at the end. She was kind of skiing slowly,
Right.
fell over, hit her head, and died.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's nuts. I guess you hit it the wrong way. That's
Game over.
Lights out. System of a Down's hugely successful album Toxicity mysteriously vanished from
Is it,
Spotify
though?
this week. It is. Fans were pretty upset about it, too. Apparently, it was a glitch because as of this morning, when I checked at about 5:30 a.m., most of the album was back online, though it still had 2 tracks grayed out. But now the entire thing is back online. Nobody really knows what happened. Like I said, it was like a bit of a glitch. I'm curious to know what a band might lose in a day of being offline from Spotify.
Oh, monetarily? From getting paid from the streams?
If it was a glitch.
That's a good question.
Nobody's fault. I'm not saying there should be any type of compensation, but
Right.
I'm wondering, because you hear that Spotify doesn't pay that well. Did you lose...
Yeah, fractions of a penny per play.
Right. But what would a band like System of a Down, who Toxicity is their best and most popular album, I would say.
Yeah.
Most listened to, anyway.
I would say in
What
the
do you
grand
suppose?
scheme,
$100?
something maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
$50? $2,000? I can't even venture a guess.
Yeah, nothing that they're really worried about.
Yeah, they don't care. But anyway, that was a very big thing online yesterday as all these System of a Down were like, why is my Toxicity grayed out? Somebody said, it's the worst day of my life.
Okay.
All right, those are your 3 things.
All right, here we go. Time to play the match game. We need 2 contestants right now, 800-821-9970 that want to play. Tickets for Sheng Wang up for grabs. Very funny comedian. Come to the Davison Theater on September 27th. If you want to go, give us a call, 800-821-9970. We're going to have one-person team. We're going to have Kelly and Thick write down their match game answers. We'll see if you can get a match, get a point. Most points, going to win the game. Let's see here. Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this? Steve. All right, Steve, hang on one second. We're going to find you a competitor, but someone who is worthy of your competitiveness. That's how that works, right? No one wants to win the tickets?
Wow,
There we go.
Steve's
Okay.
so intimidating. Nobody
He
wants
is.
to go head-to-head.
Everyone backed up. Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this? Hello?
Hello?
Blitz. Good morning.
Hello?
Hi, who's this?
Hey, this is Josh.
Josh. All right, we got Steve and Josh.
S word, Josh.
What is it this week and people dropping the S-bomb?
He was shocked he got in.
I'm glad you did, Josh. Please don't use that word again. All right, Steve, Josh, here we go. This is how the game works. I'm going to read a question. It is going to be a fill-in-the-blank question. We are going to give Kelly and Thick a second to write down their answers, and then I'm going to ask you what you think the answer is and see if you match with either Kelly or Thick. If you do, then you'll get a point. Person with the most points is going to win the tickets for Sheng Wang. So here we go for the match game. Your first fill in the blank. The farmer said to the ranch hand, how many times do I have to tell you, don't blink the cows while they're being milked? How many times do I have to tell you, don't blank the cows while they're being milked? Kelly and Thick are writing down their answers right now.
Ready.
Thick, you ready? He's writing down his answer.
Yeah.
All right, Steve, we will start with you. How many times do I have to tell you, don't blank the cows while they're being milked? Steve, what do you think?
Fondle.
Fondle. Oh,
Okay.
good one. Josh, what do you think?
I was just going to say, like, disturb.
Disturb. Okay. Both good answers. Kelly, let's start with you. How many times do I have to tell you, don't blank the cows while they're being milked?
I said butcher.
Butcher. No. Don't butcher the cows while they're being milked. That would create a big old mess. Thick, what you got? Don't blank the cows while they're being milked.
You didn't mention, though, you kind of are fondling them when you're milking them, but I said don't kiss the cows while you're...
Yeah, you don't want to kiss the cows. And no points there. All right, moving on to the next one.
All right.
Jim said, my dentist must be nearsighted. He just tried to blank my nose. My dentist must be nearsighted. He just tried to blank my nose. Kelly and Thick writing down the answers. See if we can get ourselves a match. Thick writing down his. Josh, we'll start with you this time. My dentist must be nearsighted. He just tried to blank my nose. What do you think, Josh?
Kiss.
Kiss my nose. Okay.
Steve.
Steve.
Can I have the name of your dentist? Because that is, I feel like you should file charges.
Just a tip. Just a tip there. Steve, what do you think? My dentist must be nearsighted.
Drill.
He just tried to blank my nose. What was that?
Drill.
Drill my
Oh,
nose.
gosh, that's so good.
That is
Darn
pretty
it.
good. That is pretty good.
Ugh.
Thick, let's start with you.
I said drill.
There we go. We got ourselves a point for Steve. Kelly,
I said Novocaine.
Try to Novocaine my nose. No points for Steve. Let's do one last one for the match game. Let's see here. I want to find a good one.
Was it Steve? Did Steve not say drill?
He said drill. I gave him a point.
Oh, I thought you said no points for Steve.
No points for Josh. I'm sorry. I might have said that. Let's see. Let's go with, at the hospital, Aaron passed out when the nurse showed him his blank. At the hospital, Aaron passed out when the nurse showed him his blank. Thick looks very confused. Still hasn't written down an answer. Kelly's done and waiting.
Oh, man.
Steve and Josh, think about it for a second. Think you write something down finally?
Yeah.
He wrote something down. All right, Steve, back to you. At the hospital, Aaron passed out when the nurse showed him his...
We'll go with stethoscope. I can't say what I want to say.
With his stethoscope. All right. Let's see. Josh, what do you got?
I can't say what I want to say either.
You guys are dirty.
Dirty-minded. Good Lord. What's going on here?
Go ahead and say it.
No, don't say it. Then we're going to bleep them
I gotta use a
again.
code word.
Can you... Yes.
Tatas.
What's tatas? Ah, okay,
Yeah.
tatas. I didn't know he had tatas.
Yeah.
But okay.
Well, nurse is a C.
Oh, okay. But I said show him his.
Yeah.
But that's fine. You can go with tatas. I don't think you'll get a point for that one, but you can go with it. Kelly, back to you. Steve, I'm sorry, Aaron passed out when the nurse showed him his...
Bill.
Oh, that'd be a good reason to pass out when you see the bill at the hospital. No points there. Thick, back to you. At the hospital, Aaron passed out when the nurse showed him his...
I can only think of X-ray.
X-ray's a good answer, absolutely. But no points in that round, which means Steve walks away with 1 point and the winner. Congratulations. Steve, you're going to go see Sheng Wang at the Davidson Theater Saturday, September 27th. Thank you so much for playing. Hang on 1 second. We really appreciate it. More tickets tomorrow. It's 99.7 The Blitz.
Your rock station, 99.7 The Blitz.
All right, coming up next, we are going to get into your not-so-breaking news, including people throwing away things they shouldn't, and people doing things in a park in Seattle that they shouldn't. We'll get to all that next 99.7 The Blitz.
Not so breaking news. The news already broke. We're trying to put it back together.
I had to tell Nora. I shouldn't put her on blast like this.
Yes, you should.
But I told you before, Nora works at a family practice doctor's office, and she doesn't really have a title, but I've titled her Director of Special Projects because she just does whatever needs to get done. She kind of works as the personal assistant to the head doctor there, and just does everything from coding and billing and upkeep of the paperwork to helping out the nurses when they need it. She kind of does it all. But one thing she helps with is keeping all the things up to date. She keeps in contact with like the computer companies and all that kind of stuff. They had to get rid of a bunch of like old laptops that were just so old. There was nothing to do with them. So she was chucking them in the dumpster. And I was like, you're not supposed to do that. You know that, right? The batteries and everything. There's special, recycling, special garbage for electronics. She's like, there is? I just took them. So I kind of had to tell her, you can't throw those things away. There are certain things you're not supposed to throw away.
Does that include, like, your AA batteries?
Yes.
It does?
Yes. You're not supposed to throw batteries away at all.
I think Lowe's and Home Depot have little things you can drop them in.
Yeah, they do battery recycling.
So you guys are telling me when your batteries and your TV remote go bad, you take them to a special place to throw them away?
No, we're just telling you you're supposed to.
I didn't say I do. Right, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
You didn't say do it. You're just supposed to do it.
Okay.
However, unlike this person in Grand Rapids, I would not throw away the cannonball that I had in the garbage.
Oh my gosh, like a real cannonball.
A real cannonball, a Civil War era cannonball.
You are going to make a poor guy who's out there just trying to live his day as a refuse collector lift up a cannonball and put it in the back of that trash truck?
The Kent County Recycling Center up there in Grand Rapids had to issue a reminder, hey, don't throw away cannonballs. Explosives are supposed to be specially dealt with. And that is what happened. A bomb squad from the Grand Rapids Police Department was called in to evacuate the site and remove the cannonball because they were uncertain as to what was going to happen. Yes, Miss Quinn, you have your hand up.
Okay. I don't know anything about cannonballs. Is the ball itself explosive, or is it the explosive thrusted out of the cannon? And then the ball lands on you, and it's so heavy and big that causes the destruction. Or does the ball itself explode?
I think Civil War cannonballs were just rocketed out towards you.
Yeah.
And then you...
Destruction.
Yeah.
Yes. There was no actual, explosion of the cannonball.
Do we use them current day for anything?
I don't think so.
We have human cannonballs. That's what we're doing current day.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
So yes, please don't throw away your cannonballs. This next story coming out of Seattle, where residents of a Seattle neighborhood are flooding the city council meetings saying, we need some help. We need to put a stop to this because there is a place called Denny Blaine Park. And they have started a new chant, if you will, Denny Blaine for all, because apparently Denny Blaine Park is kind of a makeshift nudist colony. It's an unofficial nude beach.
Wait, where is this again?
Seattle.
Outside of Seattle.
Okay.
Yes. And apparently, a lot of people who live in the neighborhood directly across from Denny Blaine Park are not happy because there is a severe outbreak of masturbation going on all over the place.
What? A severe outbreak.
That's what they're calling it. It's illegal. It's illicit. It's masturbation multiple times a day. We cannot have this. Men sitting on the wall, men sitting in the park. What are they, Humpty Dumpty?
On? What?
It's all in view of homes, and they said it's never ending, and it's really troubling.
That is a next level circle jerk right there.
I would not be happy if I lived across from a park that had a bunch of people just tugging it.
Yeah, just think about how happy you were that you are moving across from a place that's not going to be developed. It's going to be, like you're thinking, quiet, it's a park, families and all that. And then it turns into, I don't know, the worst Showtime
The jerk shack.
we've ever seen.
I don't think that's what's going on in nudist colonies, where everybody's just out in front of each other doing that.
I don't think so
I
either.
thought you were going somewhere else with this.
Nope. The explanation from the co-leader of the Friends of Denny Blaine community group says Denny Blaine means a lot to a lot of different folks. I'm sure it does.
Sounds like it.
Obviously.
So it's less a nudist camp and more like a different level of unhoused people doing their business out in public.
No, it's not even unhoused people.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Like people who have a real home that they could go in the privacy of their own home and do whatever they want.
Everybody's got
Come
a
out
fetish.
to the park.
Come on, if this what the park is known for.
What the crap?
I don't know. But
they do it all in Seattle, don't they?
They do
have it all.
They do have it all. Absolutely. I mean, I know Vegas is stop number one, but apparently, whatever your kink, go to Seattle.
Jeez.
They've got it for you. That's your not so breaking news. 99.7 The Blitz. Hey, you guys want to hear a really odd core memory? That song Glycerine came out my senior year of high school, like the beginning of my senior year of high school, and my best friend and I, the Maverick to my Goose, we were in his kitchen talking. And why was there a candle there? There was a candle that was lit for some reason. And that song was on. And we were cranking that song. And somehow it got, I don't know if you hit the wrong button, it was on repeat. And as the conversation died down, we stood there in the kitchen, and we both ended up looking at this candle. And we probably stared at the flicker of this candle while that song played like 6 or 7 times in a row.
How much weed was involved?
None! That's the weird thing. And we weren't emo kids. We weren't like contemplating life. I don't know why. It was
Stone cold sober, just staring into a candle flame.
Which is an old Japanese practice, staring at a candle flame and the flicker of a candle.
Yeah.
It's like a meditation form.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know why we were sitting there just staring at that candle.
It's deep thoughts.
While Glycerine played over and over and over again. Oh, to be 17 and a senior in high school again.
You cannot convince me you weren't smoking weed. I'm sorry.
Calm down. It's tough to believe you weren't.
I'm telling you. We didn't at all. All right. Let's backtrack about an hour ago when we had wrapped up the news. We had wrapped up whatever segment we were doing. We go into commercials, and like a lot of times, we turn off the microphones, and we're either talking about the next segment or something going on. And
you guys miss stuff.
Sometimes, yeah. Oh man, if we did like a off-air only segment or off-air only,
we should do that. If we get cameras in here, it's going to be all on, baby.
Oh,
yeah.
Some of the things that I don't want to hear some of the things we say off the air.
Not all.
But this one we can bring up because it was so strange because Kelly just found out about this trend that's been going on for probably about 2 weeks on social media.
I feel like this is a roundabout, backhanded way to tell me I'm dumb.
No.
Not at all.
I've never heard this.
You're never dumb just because you didn't hear something.
I hadn't heard this, and I'm like, you guys, have you heard about this? And you're like, yeah, like 2 months ago?
2 weeks. It hasn't been too much. It was 2 weeks. But there's a debate going on around online. 100 men versus a silverback gorilla. Could 100 men take down a silverback gorilla?
No weapons, right?
No weapons.
Just hand-to-hand combat.
100 men taking down a silverback gorilla. I say there is no way in hell that's happening.
100 men.
Doesn't matter. You can't get 100 men onto a silverback gorilla at one time. The silverback gorilla is going to pick you off 3, 4, 5 at a time.
Yeah, you're right.
There's no way you could get
if
everyone.
All 100 in a circle rushed him at the same time.
You need to have about 10 sacrificial men out of the 100 to go in there and just agree to be ravaged by this 400-pound gorilla.
Yeah, I don't think...
And then the rest can just jump on and go to town.
You're going to have some that don't survive, for sure.
But that's the thing, is you say go to town, only 6, 7 men will be able to get in there at one time.
Why?
And
if all 100...
Because there's only so much space. If you surround something...
Yeah, you're right.
Then you have a circle of 6 or 7 men. You can't fit 100 men into a condensed circle.
So there just has to be layers. Like this, if 8 people are going in...
And the silverback gorilla will eat the layer up one by one.
Man, he's going to be wiping them out, man.
And there's no punch or kick that a human could give a silverback gorilla that will make any difference whatsoever.
Not even phasing.
Not even
What
close.
about a Captain Insano eye poke?
That's it. You're going to have to go for the eyes.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to have to do.
Won't matter.
I know.
Won't matter.
You're right.
So Kelly really did go off about. You said that you could probably tame the gorilla with.
I feel like just me versus a silverback. I feel like it has a brain, and there's some type of soothing. Like soothing the savage beast. There's something I could do to have a shot at this thing just agreeing not to kill me.
So basically, you're saying you could pull a Black Widow from the Marvel movie and calm down the Hulk. Hey there, big guy, and just rub his paw.
Yeah, eventually. I feel like I'd maybe sing or play an
Just sing
instrument.
Megadeth to him?
No, but I could play like Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head on the ukulele or something. Did you ever see Raindrops?
He's going to smash that ukulele over your head.
You think?
Yeah.
Jay, get on the back and choke that mother effer out. That's not happening.
You are not.
That's not happening.
Choke him out. Do you know how big and strong those things are?
6658. I'm breaking the gorilla's toes and fingers. Oh, really? Are you? Are you getting close enough? You think the gorilla's just going to let you hold its hand while you snap its fingers one by one?
No, but the other guys are around distracting it. Like, look over here, you big dummy!
I love the fact that there were so many women posting about this thing, asking if they could be the ones to pick the 100 men. Like they had individual men they wanted to pick to go against this gorilla.
Right. 8712. They get gassed quickly. I don't care how quickly they get gassed. You're not taking down a silverback gorilla. Steve says gorilla throat punch. Yeah, that's not happening either.
Truck Matt says play Glycerine on repeat and light a candle for the gorilla.
Yes, then we can sit there and stare at the flame.
Maybe.
Hypnotize the gorilla. Yeah. That's what you do.
It's like Mike Tyson says, everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face. And when it comes from a silverback, yeah, you're dead.
You're instantly dead. There's no way.
I feel like we are a more evolved species, though, so we could do a gladiator situation where you're constantly refilling the pool of 100 men, and they're eventually figuring out how to beat this gorilla. Eventually.
You also said, Kelly, that you compared the silverback gorilla to the water buffalo, and you'd rather take on which one?
I'd do the water buffalo. I mean, I do feel like the gorilla I might be able to semi-reason with.
What do you mean semi-reason with?
I can just imagine it. I'm imagining it right now. But the
King
water
Kong.
buffalo, that water buffalo, it doesn't see me sneaking up. It doesn't.
Okay, and then you do what to the water buffalo?
I mean, I just pet it.
And then eat your head.
I probably don't have a big chance. I think I'm going to go with the smarter of the two animals. Is it the gorilla? I think it is.
I would think the gorilla would be smarter than the water buffalo.
I'm going with the smart one. It can see I'm no threat. What am I going to do? And it's probably like, well, what
in the context of straight survival.
Yeah.
You think you have a chance to survive better with a silverback gorilla than you do a water buffalo?
I mean, what's the buffalo going to do, though? Is it going to spear me? Is it going to stomp on me?
All the above.
All the above?
All the above.
Is it hungry? Does it like people?
I am not a water buffalo expert. I'm sorry. I don't know the answers to those questions.
I have to ask a few more questions before I make my final decision, but I do think I'm going with a gorilla.
I swear to God, you and Nora are so alike. You ask a rhetorical question. I need context. I need context. What's going on here? Is the silverback having a bad day? Yeah. Is the water buffalo hungry?
Exactly. Those are important questions.
You're not surviving either. That's all there is to it. Okay. Just telling you now.
Go to Texas. It has fur. Set it on fire. Ooh. That's a weapon, though. You can't use a weapon.
Weapons.
Yeah, how are you going to set it on fire? I don't think the water buffalo is going to wait while you sit there and strike your flint rock over and over again to get the fire going.
Ace wants to know if it's going to blind him with his chandelier.
There you go. Just hold the giant chandelier.
They are 20 times stronger than the world's strongest man.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys have to get in a ring with one. Which one are you picking? The water buffalo or the gorilla?
I'm going to pick the water buffalo.
I'm picking the water buffalo.
I don't know if I can. I don't think I could really defeat either one. I know I can't defeat the gorilla.
I think the only advantage to the water buffalo is like turning radius in the fact that you can dodge side to, or at least maybe stay on its side as it spins.
But even if you're behind it at all times, what are you going to do to it?
Right, exactly.
You smack
you just
it in the
have
ass?
to tire it out, right?
Well, that may be.
And then it falls asleep, and then
it just falls over.
You see, like a crocodile, a giant crocodile will eat those things.
Man, those horns are pretty wide. They're lethal.
Nuts. Yeah.
They're lethal.
Let's just say this: I don't want to be anywhere around either of them.
Right, exactly.
Stick with that. It's 99.7 The Blitz.
And now, the 3 things you need to know before you go.
Well, don't even think about starting any trouble in the short north. Columbus Police Department stepping up enforcement starting this weekend for the summer season. Extra patrols will be out in vehicles, on bicycles, and on foot, and there will be undercover officers working the area. Extra security cameras have already been put up, and they are running in the short north as well. The NFL fined the Atlanta Falcons and their defensive coordinator, Jeff Ulbrich.
Yep.
Okay. A total of $350,000 for their roles in allowing Ulbricht's son to access the draft contact phone number of quarterback Shedeur Sanders for a prank call. The league fined the Falcons $250,000 and Ulbricht $100,000 for failing to prevent the disclosure of confidential information distributed to the team in advance of last week's draft. The team says it accepts the penalties.
Your kid's, he's an adult. His son.
Yeah.
So you can't ground him.
21.
No, you can't ground him. But man, you cost your dad $100,000.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know what the right punishment is here. It was a really, really, really stupid, unfunny prank.
Yeah.
To pull on someone who's waiting for the biggest phone call of their life.
It was just it's cruel.
Cruel, yeah. Do you send him to jail for it? I don't know. Was he publicly shamed? Should be.
They did say they were pleasantly surprised in how well their apology was received by Shedeur and Dion, and they talked to him for quite a while.
And good on them.
I know. They sounded genuine how the kid did about how bad he felt, but he found it on the iPad, and that's why they fined the coach and the team for not protecting that secure information. But there were several players that got pranked during the draft.
Oh, I did not know that.
Abdul Carter, the defensive end from Penn State that went number 3. Jacksonville traded up to number 2, and somebody from the Jaguars called him and said they were taking him with the next pick, and they didn't. They took Hunter from Colorado. They got Chase Lunt that went to the Bills, Tyler Warren that went to the Colts, and our former quarterback Kyle McCord, who was at Syracuse, got prank called.
That's crazy. How? That's so strange that we didn't hear about any of the others.
I think it's because of how big the whole Shedeur thing was.
Yeah, I guess.
He was falling in the draft. And he's Dion's son. And,
that's true.
Well, Hulk Hogan's got a new wrestling league, and the inaugural event is set for August 30th in Cleveland. It's called Real American Freestyle. Hulk Hogan announced that he, Eric Bischoff, and Coach Israel Martinez are partnering to launch this league. He says Real American Freestyle will feature real, unscripted freestyle wrestling. They'll have both men's and women's divisions, and he said basically these people could make 7 figures playing in this league. That's what he's envisioning.
Not. That's like saying the XFL players are going to make 7 figures.
Okay.
Not happening.
I don't know.
He said it's kind of going to be like The Voice in the way that they're going to really showcase each wrestler, and you're going to know a lot about them and their families, and you're going to be invested in their story, and then you'll watch them.
The only people that are going to watch this are the people that go to the gymnasiums to watch, like, amateur wrestlers put on a show.
Like hobo boxing, that kind of thing?
It's something along those lines. But there are amateur wrestling groups out there. I have a good friend who's been into wrestling forever, and they get in the ring, and they train, and they do all this stuff.
So this is real wrestling?
Yeah,
I mean, like
they
legit,
said it's real,
3 count, like
unscripted.
Referee.
They call it freestyle wrestling. What is that? Does this mean anything goes?
It's not going to be Olympic wrestling. It's not going to be Greco-Roman wrestling. It's going to be WWE style wrestling.
It is, okay.
Right.
I have to assume it's Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan. What else would it be?
You would think.
They don't have any experience in Greco-Roman wrestling.
Yeah, it's for entertainment. I mean,
okay.
I didn't know. Be body slams and clotheslines.
Have you seen the fear?
Oh, okay, Hulk.
Okay. Those are your 3 things.
I'm just reading this article. Like, who this is going to be? Someone has just thrown away a lot of money.
You think?
I think. You're not going to get. You're not recouping your investment on this one.
No.
Sorry, Hulk.
I mean, we got
not happening.
We got 2. It was hard enough. The AEW is going pretty well, but they're doing it right. I don't know how you're going to get another one to get support. You're going to have wrestlers making $1 million. That's insane.
You're absolutely not. It's 99.7 The Blitz. Okay, I don't want to poo-poo on anybody's good news. This is amazing. It raises some questions. There's a woman who just posted a video online because her husband has been battling kidney disease for 14 years. And he needed a kidney transplant. And the video she posted is them sitting on their little bench on the front porch of their couch. And he likes baseball. And so his wife got him some baseball cards. And in the video, he's flipping through, looking at the baseball cards, and excited at all the cool cards that he's getting in this baseball pack. But then he gets to the last card, and he's like, wait, what is this? The wife had reached out to Topps and had a custom card made, which you can do, which had his picture on it. And here's the thing. She did it because it was the big reveal that she found out she was a match for his kidney donation. Did you pull that clip up?
I got it.
All right, go ahead and play it.
Mike Trout.
Ooh, look.
Mike Trout. Oh, very nice.
Who is it?
Platinum Presents, New York Yankees, Clint Frazier.
Woo! What is it?
Hey, look, it's me.
Hi, Steve. What's it say on the back?
Steve's had a lot on his plate. With his health issues, he's been striking out a lot. He was not sure how he was going to wind up. His wife Heather thinks he is a great catch, so she's decided to go to bat for him. Now Steve will be a rookie recipient at Vanderbilt transfer.
I'm out today. I'm at work. I'm a mess.
Tear jerking. Unbelievable.
Man.
The wife found out she's a match, and she gets to now go.
And save her husband's life.
Here's the thing.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Here's the thing. He's been battling kidney disease for 14 years. I think that the article said they've been married for 5. Why is she just now finding out she's a match? Does it take 5 years to find out you're a match for someone?
I don't know, man. I have no idea.
I just don't... Like, why didn't that happen sooner? Or maybe you want to be sure before you give up a kidney? Like, you want to... Like, wait a minute. Is this going to last?
Yeah.
Am I going to give you my kidney for someone and the relationship's not going to last? I'm so happy that he's getting a kidney. I'm so happy they're a match. But why did it take so long? That's all I want to know. Why did it take so long?
You said they've been together 5 years?
I think that's what the article said, yeah.
Yeah, so that means they met during COVID.
Yeah?
I don't know. I don't know how long it takes to find that stuff out.
I don't know. I saw the video, I did the math, and the math wasn't mathing. Why did it take so long for her to find out she was a match? Just out of curiosity. That's it. Just raising questions.
I understand the curiosity.
Yeah, absolutely. I think anyone would question that.
Right.
Like, that would be like if 4 years from now, and I had been battling, kidney disease the whole time, Nora's finally like, oh, by the way, I went to the doctor and found out I was
right.
Couldn't have done that earlier? Right. Come on. 99.7 The Blitz.
Now, let's see if we can learn you something. Sit up and pay attention.
Yeah, let's make you a little bit smarter than you were when you woke up today. Thick, the first one is a trivia question. What do pigs, hedgehogs, and skunks all have in common?
Rodents. Are they rodents?
A pig is not a rodent.
Oh, a pig.
No.
Pig, a hedgehog, and a skunk.
Skunk isn't a rodent either.
Dude, I have no idea.
They are some of the several animals that are immune to snake and scorpion venom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What was the badger? The badger. Okay. Honey badger.
Honey badger.
Honey badger don't give
an F or an S.
Yeah, exactly.
I know there are dogs that don't feel bee stings.
Oh, okay.
Although
those are some of the funniest videos. The one that try and eat bees and they get stung and they're all like, purrt, and they go to the vet and they've got the puffy jowls. So cute.
It doesn't give a
Factories in China produce roughly 80% of all the toys and 90% of all the Christmas goods sold in America. That's a high amount, in case you didn't know. Johnny Cash's birth name wasn't Johnny. In fact, he didn't have any first names. His parents gave him the initials JR because they couldn't think of a name. And then he finally enlisted in the Air Force, and they said, you need a name. So he picked John as the name to go with. So he got Johnny Cash.
Huh.
Speaking of music, Midnight Train to Georgia was originally called Midnight Plane to Houston.
No.
Doesn't have the same ring to it. That's because the songwriter was talking with Farrah Fawcett, and she said she was taking a midnight plane to Houston to see her family. So that's where that came from. And then I guess for whatever reason, thankfully, it got switched to Midnight Train to Georgia. And finally, This is a fun fact that I actually did know already. Saved by the Bell, The New Class was a TV show that came out after Saved by the Bell. It had new students. Screech was like a like assistant principal or some working at the school. Principal Belding was still the principal, but they had new students basically. Well, Saved by the Bell, The New Class actually had a longer run than the original Saved by the Bell and produced more episodes than the original Saved by the Bell. Yeah,
is that right?
Yep.
I didn't even know there was a second.
See, that's the theme song to The New Class. That's not the original.
Oh, is that right?
No, that's not the original Saved by the Bell.
What? Oh. Wait a minute. I've got the... No, this is the new one.
Okay. Well, the old that one you played first is not the theme song to the original TV show.
Oh, is that right?
It's the same words, but it's like a band did it or something.
Oh,
that's not the original theme song though. Yeah,
the only one I got.
No, I know my Saved by the Bell.
I believe you.
Kelly Kapowski.
She's a cutie.
Oh man. Learning you some stuff on a Thursday morning. 99.7 The Blitz.